God bless.
See, I think Ruggedman is one of those impacts in the history
Of
that
rap.
you can never in the history of Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, okay, yeah, that's undeniable.
Because he gets one level where
It changed the game.
Afrobeats day,
At the
you know, where we say everybody they chop everything.
I'm still a student of the game, so I'll say Ruggedman was that turning point, you know,
For you.
that make that make me understand that or more people sabi rap for Nigeria. Yeah, there's been a lot of people who are rapping before that, but I'm not talking about when it comes to normal rap generally. Yeah, everybody know my sentiment is my sentiment. Adjasa is number one.
But indigenous,
But indigenous, yeah.
But indigenous, no, rugged.
Rugged, yeah.
But
No. Rugged actually Rugged did well. It was indigenous even
because
from the get-go.
it was a lot of pigeon.
But but because people were now saying maybe because he's rapping that his second album was more cut across more. You know what I'm saying?
Which second album? He did among songs we make me know.
Rest in peace, No More Loss, though. Shout out to No More Loss.
Shout out to No More Loss on that. There are some things that would have happened to him.
Yeah.
Privately,
He won't say.
that he refused to speak.
He
He refused to speak about. He talks about it. Okay. Let me put it this way. Even the fact that the Kenny's music thing was confrontational at that point, right? These Gen Z listeners, now they don't know this story.
I don't know. Yeah, Ruggedman break
So
all
to
the
put
barriers.
that down in history, I think I'm gonna ask him about it. Say,
Yeah, you should ask him.
Yeah, what's scene they
What are the things that happened that he didn't really talk about?
didn't really talk about? Yeah,
that really got him. Yeah.
I
And don't forget, at the time, it was only Kenny's music in Nigeria. Kenny's music has the roster of all the
everybody,
artists in
yeah,
Nigeria.
everybody,
And
yeah.
you now going against that
the biggest,
conglomerate of
I'm a shout out to Babake Kenna, shout out to
shout out
D1,
to
shout out to AIT,
shout out to Kenny's music. Shout out to Kenny's music. But for
they
Ruggedman
held it.
to face the industry, it was him against the world, against the industry, him against the world, and
Yeah,
he was man. Rugged was.
everybody expects the angle where he comes
Yeah, that's
from.
why I said he has a shock value. Because for me, I've never listened to Ruggedman before in here. I never listened to any Ruggedman song before in here.
Make I shock you. Do you know that just around that time that he did I had a diss song too. It's called MCs.
For real?
Ole Mamo.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never.
It's called MCs.
I'm not sure.
I did the video self. Shino DDG. Shino DDG.
Yeah, I'm not.
Shino DDG shot the video, but I only focused on Idris.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing MCs. But the difference that I later realized is I went full on English, right? But because Rugged was able to break it down into pidgin, he was able to cut across more.
And Rugged had his first album was a masterpiece, man, because the way he delivers those lyrics, the message, whatever I said there, that's facts, 1000%.
Do you know when you Rugged, when you are doing something and you are conscious of every step
what I'm saying.
along the way,
He knows what he's doing. You are saying somebody is a legend. He knows.
So, he is legend. 20 years ago.
2007 or 8?
8. Yeah. This is years ago. This is like 14, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
But this guy is speaking about the future.
He's
speaking about what is happening
now.
today. Right? All over everybody.
No, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Ruggedman first album, The Kingdom Come or Rugged Baba, which one will you choose? No sentiment.
I'm not sentimental. I'll take that Kingdom Come. For me.
Man, there's no how I'm gonna take Rugged Baba. No how.
No, I'll take that.
This album, yeah.
Kingdom
Come,
Come,
yeah.
of course, I'll take that Kingdom Come because it was raw. It was raw. Like, you know, when you go get raw material before you convert that. By the time he did Rugged Baba. Baba don't chop money, money don't enter, so you don't but there's nothing I don't think you can do anything as original as those days when you are hungry, when there is hunger for that fame and you're ready to face whatever it takes.
Do you know on this album there's one song that he featured a rapper from Angola, or I think from one international rapper, one African international rapper. He featured on that album. On this album.
He was
on fire.
I beg, among bros that he was referring to is Baba Keke and Dayo and ID and Babane. All of them.
Can never have anybody like Ruggedman again. Ever.
Sonny Motola. You think you Sony music?
God damn it.
But the craziest thing is, right?
Kenny's music was our Mount Rushmore at the time.
They still for me. Till today
they are top at the time.
Till today, those are the for me. You know, I say they always talk. They always talk. Say, listen, yeah, we have people that have done it before them, but the people that actually started Afrobeats to make what Afrobeat is right today, now, that actually gave Afrobeat the traction and the attention that we needed,
that we have right now,
which is what brought us to this point we are today. Shout out to Kenny Ogungbe, shout out to Dayo Adeneye, shout out to ID Ogungbe, and shout out to Babane. Babato Shaw.
A Ruggedman now.
Yeah. And for a Rugged to go for them, it was an history changer. It was game changer.
So if you're an independent artist right now, your OG is Ruggedman.
Bro, just listen to what he's saying on this.
It's Ruggedman. OG before RG.
Did you listen to this Styles verse?
I listened to it.
I think we're going to have an episode on Styles very soon. On just him. Because that is somebody that also shows that I'm not in competition with anybody.
That guy owes
down.
He owes.
Anytime. I kill everybody anytime. Like
He did. Freestyle.
You don't say Nightail in there.
That was fire. Yeah, I
know. It is Nightail. But Rugged, can you hear me?
I can let it go.
It might go.
But I can't let it go back.
What's it go?
Networking.
Oh shit. Rugged, can you hear me?
Let it freeze.
Nigeria network.
Excuse me, how's Westheimer? My miss Westheimer go. For me, ni heartache ati heart love.
Rugged. Now West Time I give you a break. I mean, you give West Time a break.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The fine boyness is always there. It has never left.
We thank the Lord. Ibro kilo day when you back up. Don't
Rugged.
Yeah.
I get like 20 minutes.
Okay, let's run this.
Yeah. So, but I get some things where they pain me for years. Where I don't think over the years where I won't ask. Where I never get the opportunity to ask you. So I'm going to use this opportunity.
But I don't owe you any money now.
No, it's not about money. You're way back than money. You know? But you see this episode ready for you. Today, I don't go through all your catalog. from the days of you know, and me going through all those things, I was trying to narrate the story and the history of Afrobeat, especially for the newcomers and the Gen Zs, to make them understand the impact you have in this game till date. Baba, when we checked, it was 2004. That's 20 years ago.
It actually came out 2002. Not 2003 for sure. Yeah.
But the Monlo reference video to Walori.
It's already online.
Okay.
2004, and that is massive, Baba. 20 something years ago, you already saw the picture that we had today, and it's insane. It's insane because not only you, but what did I tell Ibro? I say, Ibro, there's one thing I want to start this interview with, which is when this whole thing happened, right, Baba? You went through some things that you never shared public, because I know a whole lot of people came after you. There was attack from everywhere because you did the extraordinary, unexpected. Nobody expected it at the time that everybody felt relaxed, but you brought everybody consciousness to what Afrobeat should be. Right, but you never spoke about those things, and I said, Bro, I go ask him, maybe you can go talk about them. What did you go through when you released the hair?
Well, obviously, I went through a lot. There was a lot of backlash. And I really didn't care. Because I don't know. A lot of the young artists these days, yeah, they go into entertainment mostly for the buzz, for the glitz, the glamour, the money. But I went into rap music. I won't even say entertainment because I didn't know there was going to be an entertainment industry. I just loved rap, and I loved rap, and I well, from the Western hip hop I was seeing or I grew up watching, I knew what rap was like. You understand? And I wasn't seeing that in Nigeria until I met a couple of other people. You understand? So basically, what led to a hair was me, a lot of music that was being played then, some artists who were being celebrated then. I felt, okay, let me say this. I've always been one who, I always like to give honor to whom honor is due. If you're not good at something, I will not close my eyes and hail you. Instead, I will leave you. But I will never ever tell you, you're good, lie. So that's why when I saw a lot of people celebrating certain artists back then, that I felt with my little knowledge of rap, when I saw people celebrating, some artists who I felt weren't even average, it didn't sit well with me. And now I know that I've always had a spirit of, I've always been a very vocal person. So whether you like it or not, vocal, yes. Well, both. I didn't know all this until later. I didn't know it until later because, like you rightfully said, I'm not afraid of taking a risk. I'm not afraid of going left when everybody else is going right. You understand? So a lot of mediocrity was being celebrated. I've said this so many times, and that was in the beginning. A lot of mediocrity was being celebrated, and I thought to myself, okay, you are going into this, you're doing this. Do you want to join the bandwagon of the people who you feel are not even up to average? Or you just leave them and just go find something else to do? Because I didn't want to be added to that group of people who I felt were not that good. But I now looked at myself, the love I had for rap overrode any other thing. And I said, you know what? Say something, do something about it. Even if it's the last thing and only thing you do something, and let that be it. Whatever happens, let it happen. I will not lie to you. When I dropped a hand, I thought that was going to be the last thing anybody will hear of me as an artist. I thought I was going to be crushed. I thought they would just do me like this and throw me away, because who was I? I was just one skinny guy with a big head and long neck that liked rap. Back then, nobody knew me. And the people I went against were the people who were buzzing at that time, from the artist to the label.
That is the industry.
To me, I didn't know. To me, it wasn't. I didn't know it as an industry. I just saw these guys are being celebrated. This is the record label. This, you understand? And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be like that. We should be better. We can do better. I know some people who can do better, who do better. So and I say, you know what? Let me speak. Let me just say something. Whatever happens, happens.
But when we were going,
and that's how a hair was born.
When we were going through the catalog, at a point we got to Peace or War, and Ibro was like, even before Peace or War, when it comes to being independent as an artist, this is the first guy that started it. Nobody was conscious of it. Nobody was aware that you can actually do this without any label or anybody signing you at that point. But you came out and you were like, no, you could do this independently without nobody, right? I'm not sure if you're conscious of it at that point. Were you?
Like I said, I wasn't aware of a lot of things, but my own is, if I want to do this, I'm going for it. As long as I don't commit any offense, I don't break any law. If I want to do this, I will go for it. Okay, I've never said this much anywhere, but remember well, people thought I signed for a record label back then.
Yeah,
Little Fish Record. I didn't sign.
Yeah.
We know we didn't.
I didn't sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't sign. You know how? You know why? Even though there was a press conference.
Yeah, I saw the press conference. That you signed.
Yeah, well, I just fooled everybody at that press conference.
And you were
okay. Let me tell you how.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I was conscious of that one because we had an agreement. The deal was he'll give me a car and I'll sign to the label. This is the first time I think this is like the first time I'm really talking about this much. The deal was he'll give me a car.
Exclusive. You can only hear it here. Only here in the world. So
basically, talking about me doing it on my own, the only time I almost signed for a label was for Little Fish Records. And the deal and the agreement we had was he'll give me a car and I'll sign for the label. Not that I'll sign for the label, then he'll give me a car. And remember, that was when the Ruggedman boss had kicked off. So I was hot cake, though I didn't know that much. I was hot cake, but I was on my own doing my thing, Jeje. You understand? Then he reached out to me that he wanted to discuss and sign me. And the only thing I told them straight was, okay, I didn't have a car then. I live in Lagos. So if you can get me a car, let's sign me with that and I'm good. And he agreed. But, oh yeah, now bring the car, nothing. Okay, let's look for a car in Lagos. We went around a bit. Anyone I saw, he says it's too expensive. Oh, the price is high. Okay, he has an uncle in customs in Cotonou. We can go to Cotonou. Bros, I went to Cotonou just to get car.
For real?
Got to Cotonou, same thing. When I call, oh, we've seen this one. How much? We tell him how much. It's expensive. We tell him, it's expensive. And I said, okay, bro, what is your budget? Let me know. And he now said his budgets, and he was like back then. I'm talking 2000 and no, I'm talking like 2002 or 3. Yeah, that was when I just had the CD, the single. So it was like 2003. So the budget he said he had was 27,000 naira short. That time 27 naira like 2 million.
Yeah. It's a lot of money, yeah.
Before the Gen Z people say, just 27K.
Yeah.
So and I said, okay, you know what? I'll add the 27K. Let's just pick a car. Because I had already fixed a date for me to sign, press. I had invited there was supposed to be a press conference. And that was a week to it. And I was like, look, we need to do this because I wanted the car to be there, to be present at the press conference so that when we sign and do everything, they'll see the car and all, That's how. The next day I go back to Nigeria. First thing I did was walk into his office and drop 27K on the table. Okay, that's the money. Complete it. Get the car to Niger. My brother, I waited for car. And he collected it. I collected it yourself. I should have collected it. He's owing me. Okay, anyway. So finally the day of the press conference came. And I looked at him, I'm like, so where's the car? He said, no, I shouldn't worry, that the car is coming. It's taking almost a week and a half, no problem. We sat at the table then, Artwick was the first artist he signed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Artwick was on this side, I was here, he was on the left. Press people, and like I said, I was hot then. That was when I just came out. So when I invited 10 media houses, there were like 20, 25 there. The place was full.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now everybody gave a speech. Oh yeah, so we gave our speech. Then it was now time to sign contract. My brothers and sisters watching. Use your head. That's how I now open. Instead of opening the document like this, I started opening it from the bottom, bottom right. So I opened page after page after page after page. They were just waiting for me to get to. Obviously, where you sign most times, where you put the signatures, always either second to the last or the last page. I just opened and opened and opened. When I got to where I was supposed to sign, I opened again. I opened the last page of the contract and I signed on the table.
On the table?
I signed on the table. But because the way the press people were standing, they couldn't see that. I just opened it like this. So this was covering, it was blocking everything. And I signed on the table. The only person that saw that I signed on the table was him. He turned and looked at me. I looked at him and gave him this look of, talk now. Me say go talk. You explain tire today. I signed on the table. Everybody clapped. They took pictures. We all took pictures. When the press left, well, no, why did I do that now? I said, do what? He said, why didn't I sign the contract? Why did I sign on the table? I said, bro, the deal is you get me a car and I sign for the label. Not I sign for the label and you get me a car. So I've always been a stickler to, and after that, things really didn't go well and I was happy, bro, because I was able to pack my CDs, take my backpack. There was one drawing that one boy did for me in Kaduna that I put on the wall. I unhooked it when I was leaving. I carried everything and I walked away. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had signed that contract.
Rugged, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
There is a level of unbelievable conviction that you have that even me as an OG, I still cannot define it. And you saying what you're saying now, even now took it to another level. At that point, bro, you were so young that I don't think you should have that kind of experience, right? Or that kind of zeal to know that this is what I want and I'm sticking by it. How did you get to be that person that, I mean, from the grassroots, from where you're coming from, how did you get to this point that you know that this is what I'm going for? If it's not it and it's not it, there's no persuasion, nothing. This is me and this is what I'm going for. And not be all just on Little Fish, on the industry as a whole, on the Idris story, on the Kenneth's music story. That has always been you. Where did you get that from?
Well, I'll just say it's just how I've been. See, I'm a yes, no person. I'm a black, white person. There's no middle for me. If I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. If we have an agreement, it's an agreement. If you now start going away from that agreement, you're already losing my trust. And then once you lose my trust, brotherly, then what am I really doing with you? Or what am I giving you? Or why am I letting you get close to me personally? Anybody you can't trust, you don't let them get too close to you, because if you don't trust them and they get close to you, they can hurt you. And that still happened to me along the line. You understand? So I've always been like that, and I'm a man of intuition. If I'm sitting with you and we're talking and we're just if your countenance changes, jobless, I know, I feel it. That's always how I have been. You understand? So I know right from wrong, even though people try to hide behind, oh, well, I didn't know it was a mistake. Bro, there's nothing that's a mistake. There's nothing that's a mistake.
There's always an intention.
No, there's some things that are mistakes that are obvious, but things that you've had time to think about, you can't call them mistakes. You understand? If there's nothing as a mistake. Maybe an accident, but even if you check the accident, they probably told the dude to check his brakes before leaving the house and said, don't worry, I'll just manage you to this place. And then he hits somebody and then he says it's an accident, it's a mistake. It's not. They told you to check your brakes. You understand? So there's so many things, and that's how I've been. If we say A, let's stick to A and we'll be good. But once you say A and then you start doing like this, I love Michael Jackson's moonwalk. I just backslide. And I just leave you. And you will not believe, but bro, I have walked out of a lot of money just because the people I was dealing with weren't straight anymore. I've walked out. I've left some certain projects because the people just started acting funny and I didn't want to be involved with such. You understand? And well, most of it, I'll just say overall, I give it to God and I give it to my intuition. I'll give it to God and I'll give it to my intuition and I'll give it to, yes, I know what I want. And trust me, bro, I've been exposed to a whole lot of stuff. But I never I don't do what doesn't work for me. I'll say 89 or 90% of my friends smoke. I've never smoked a stick, talk less of. I've never smoked half, talk less of a stick.
I'm your friend. I'm your friend, and I've been with you several times. That in another cloud, in another realm, I'm extremely high and smoke a lot of shit, and you be like that. No, it's rugged. You just stick to you. You don't. I've not seen anything that could influence you to do what you don't want to do.
Nothing. And trust me.
Baba,
nothing.
it's mind-boggling. I don't like you because of that.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Rugged is the OG of the OGs of the OGs. Yeah, like I told you before. Like I told you, like I told Jable, I said there are some stories that I can't say on the pod. That when I get to know Rugged, I didn't believe you're a human being. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is this. So to answer the question that he asked, that you answered, yeah, I just want you to answer the question. But I have an answer for the question already, which is somebody cannot have so much conviction to come out with a song like to go against the industry every at a time.
Yeah.
And we are now contemplating on what does he believe in. This is a rebel.
Yeah,
he has never happened after him.
Baba,
I've never seen.
Yeah, Baba. One other thing where I go ask, we say after you did right? It was like, oh, okay, maybe it was a fluke. Then you did Peace of War.
No, before Peace of War, there's Peace of War.
Yeah, Peace of War.
You did Peace of War
to make sure that okay, your statement is your statement. You're ready to go any line.
Now
then you did Big Bros.
Yeah, you now stamp it, Big Bros.
To stamp it.
Say all of now.
My question is, what thing give you the liver?
I don't know.
Because if you don't know, Rugged, if you don't know, these are milestones in Afrobeat when it comes to the history of Afrobeat.
Yeah.
Right. See, I'm not saying Kenny and D1 and Remedy started Afrobeat. Yeah, they did not. There were people before them.
Oh, there are a lot of people before
a lot of people. But when it comes
they got into mainstream.
Yes.
They got into mainstream.
They brought it to the mainstream and they brought every attention that we needed to the genre, right? But at that point, this is like the Tony Motola, this is like the universal of Afrobeat.
Kenny's music was our music.
And you went in on them. I just want to know what gave you the liver.
No. Let's say you didn't ask the question correctly. I'll ask you, Rugged, what is your thought process? You did
Are you
shockwave?
No, you didn't ask it correctly. I think the question is, were you ready to die?
Yeah. I want to no. I want see because Rugged, the first time I met you, the first time we started talking that you know me, that Hebrew we're talking not in Nigeria, I always thought because me understand. No. Going with me question if cool because it was after that time. Any you period any in your go learning. So Rugged, you need to explain because like I said, when we start this pod and he said we're gonna talk about reggae, I'm like, yo, if we were talking about reggae, we're gonna talk about reggae.
This whole episode now for you. We're not talking about anything.
Yeah, we're supposed to. I told him
we had a lot. I said, listen, this one is for reggae.
Because this is what I've noticed. I've noticed that people don't talk about.
People don't give you the flowers that you deserve.
Yeah, they are crazy. But Rugged, are you trying to tackle ya?
Yeah, were you just sure that you are you not
are you suicidal at the time?
Are you suicidal?
Because because those songs you go you go Peace of War, you not go Big Bros with Kenny's music at the time.
I was just being me. Let me not lie. I was just being me. And that question about you, were you ready to die kind of thing? I was just being me, basically. And there's no realer spirit of hip hop than what Ruggedman did. There's no truer spirit of hip hop. Hip hop is not at all about bragging that you can do this, you can do that, and then that's about everybody can do that. But like you rightfully said, Ibro, after I did what I did, nobody has done it again.
Nobody.
You understand?
Yeah,
nobody. So I did because I wanted to be heard. I wanted to let everybody that was hearing music know that we actually have good rappers in Nigeria.
Mm.
That's when I did Then after I was hearing talks like, oh, we hate Ruggedman, we like Ruggedman. He doesn't know how to rap, Jerry. That was a fluke. That's why I did Peace or War. The way I did Peace or War. If you notice, I don't know if I'm the first. Maybe I was the first to go mainstream with it. But if you listen to Peace or War, you hear a lot of samplings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I sampled a lot of TV, radio presenters, TV presenters, all talking. Ruggedman, we have Ruggedman in the building. Oh, we love Mr. Called, sample JJ, Top Gun,
Ruggedman is
you know. You understand? You understand? Because that's what I know about hip hop, samples, scratches, and everything. But the major thing for Peace or War was I heard that some liked me, some hated me, and then I just wanted to say something again to them. So that's why I told them, look, whatever you guys think, I don't speak my mind, and I will still speak more. You either love me or you hate me, in peace or war. That's how. That was it. I just said that like that, and I said more. And then it was as if one thing was leading to the next track.
Yeah.
So that was how Peace or War happened. Then the next thing, I heard my CDs were disappearing in some radio stations.
Yeah.
Obviously, I took it that it was the big wigs then. I wanted to give them a name, so I called them Big Bros. You understand?
Yeah, before this point, I don't mention all their names. I called all of them out. The key ones, you get somewhere I don't call their name, right? But the key ones, I called all of them. I say these are the people he was referring to.
So that's Big Bros, and that's why I was like, oh, okay, they're trying to stop my music. I had even calls were made to stop playing my music. There was the time GML, God bless GML. He supported me so much. GML called me one night. I was like, oh, he just got off the phone now. They just called him that then why is he playing that boy's music? That I should not play that boy's music. I was not like, oh, really? He said, yeah. He said, am I listening to the radio? I said, no. He said, tune. There was Star FM. He said, tune to Star FM now. That he's on now. I said, why? He said, because he wants to play my song. And he still played the Big Bros. He played it back to back like 2 or 3 times. You understand? So when I did, and I said, that's why in Big Bros, you hear me go, if he stop my flow, if he stop my shine. Now, you can't take what's mine. Now my time to rock this industry and rule. I am Ruggedman. I know hear you.
Ruggedman. I don't know if I'm trying to cut you. I need to say this. If there's no if there's no documentary to document what you did at the time, your life story, please, you should put it in words. Nobody's.
No. I'm going to do that before the end of this year to early next year. I'm already. I've had it in mind to do it for some time. Somebody even called me about 6-7 years ago.
Yes.
I wanted to do a movie about me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand?
Bro. There should be a movie about you.
I already have it. Even if there's no movie, I already have a title for my documentary. It's Ruggedman, Peace or War. From then till now.
Yeah. Because the reason why I said that is because if you have done all of this and you didn't survive, if we are not able to talk to you right now, it will be a story of he passed and now you're alive. So it's more important.
Let's give you all the flowers
because all these things you are saying, all these jams, bro,
is insane.
See, nobody can see. You know why nobody has never done what you did since you did it? It's because nobody can survive it. The fact that you survive it is because you are in Yoruba. They say you are akonda.
They will lynch you.
Nobody can survive.
But let me. Like I said, I really do not want to take much of your time because I know you're a busy person, and I know that the delivery came, and another one must start knocking now. But before then, let me quickly ask this one. Michael Stevens' experience.
Yeah. Experiment.
Yeah. I took my time to listen to everything, and I'm like, and I was like, could change or not.
Rugged, I have a sentiment for the project, right? I listen to it. I love it a lot. But the one I love most is the Found Love. You know why?
Found Love.
It's obvious. It's obvious. That's my best.
Why?
Before we talk
Rugged
about
is asking me why.
wait.
You're gaslighting me. Rugged, you're gaslighting me.
Before Found Love, let me talk about OG.
No. OG.
Yeah, Baba, OG. What message are you trying to pass across?
Basically, OG is what it is. It's like I said somewhere, I wanted a situation where a lot of the young ones right now will have a taste of people who did it way before them and show that they can still do it. You understand? That's why, and I aptly titled it OG because I brought in a couple of OGs.
Yeah.
You understand? But what we now did was we did it to a beat, a Gen Z beat. It's on a UK drill beat. So, you know, when I talked about dropping an EP, I'm sure some people were thinking about some old school kind of beats, kind of rap. But I'm sure a lot of people were shocked now at what they heard in that EP. Especially OG and like Ibro picked out Found Love.
Yeah. But Baba, okay, go on.
No, you go on.
No. It's not about is that about EP.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to ask that, do you think that the EP itself, right? The OG, all the songs that you have on that EP, do you think that the new generation, right, in this game now, the guys running things, do you think they are giving you or any other OG the flower they deserve, the respect they deserve as an industry?
To tell you the truth, I don't care whether they give or not. You know why?
Why?
I am who I am. I am what I am. I've done what I have done. You understand? Right now, whether they give me or not, I really don't care, but I know. And those who know, know. And at the end of the day, like Ibro said, there will be a documentary to, you know, put down all that Ruggedman has done so far. So that even the Gen Zs and the Gen whatever that comes after, if they say they don't know, if they watch the documentary, they would know.
No.
The EP basically is to show them that, is to show them, and also for me to show that I can do, see that as a talented creative, I can do anything.
You did it all.
See, jobless. Only a true talented creative can do anything.
Yeah,
I always go back to this. Like, see, my life has just been somehow in I talked about, you know, in this award, I said I speak for shoemakers and I speak for mechanics.
Yeah.
I speak for those who hear some kind of rap and don't understand it. But the one people always speak out because of my humanitarian work that I've been doing for years, helping people. And who are the people I've been helping? The poor people that don't have lawyers, can't afford police, lawyer. They're the people I'm helping. Somebody drew my attention to that time he said he speaks for shoemakers, he speaks for mechanics. See him now, he's fighting for people. Now let's talk about the EP. If you remember a line in Baraje, I said I blend with the trend, stay forever, like what? Culture. So I've been able to evolve as the Nigerian music is evolving. I evolve with it. I'm evolving with it, and now they're doing the Afrobeats, they're doing everything, the drill, everything, and that's what you see in that EP. So whether they give me flowers or not, I know who I am, I know what I am, and I'm giving it to them. And Odubo Du Black reposted it, and a couple of others have reposted. It just came out like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
you understand? So it's not even been that long. But you know, Nigeria now, things will take like a week, two before, you know, it really goes round. But it's on all platforms and it's picking up seriously. You understand? So it's called the Michael Stevens experiment because I'm actually experimenting with different genres of music.
Yeah, cool.
That's why you hear stuff like Found Love, Gara, One Man, I'm a piano, OG. Of course, I had to put the rap track in there, OG, but I still didn't, like I said, I didn't go old school. It was drill, and they're all feeling it. Trust me. I know my phone hasn't stopped buzzing. I know how many people have called for interviews, to have the release parties in different places. And of course, one other thing again that I did, I took my own advice. When I talk to any entertainer whatever you're doing, I always tell them, if you're into something that a lot of other people are doing, when you want to do yours, look for an angle. Look for an angle that will make your own at least stand out a little. Because if they're all dropping R&B and you drop R&B, it just gets added to the pool of R&B.
Yeah.
But right now, like I said, if they tell you Ruggedman just dropped a rap track, they'll be like, na baba na go good. When I reach out, I go listen.
Yeah.
But if they tell you, oh, have you heard that track? Ruggedman sang, sing, bring, make I hear, let me hear. They want to hear that immediately because they've never heard me sing.
Yeah.
That's one. And then the second angle I came with, OG. Normally, people will do, when they drop a track, they will do covers, open verse. Yes, I'm going to do an open verse for OG later, no problem. But then the covers angle now, instead of doing the conventional, getting other rappers to do covers, bro, I went left. Iyabo Ojo has done a cover. Frank Edoho has done a cover. Mr. Macaroni has done a cover. Mobiwa has done a cover. Jide Kede, Kevin Ikeduba. Actors, actresses, skit makers, they've done covers. Macaroni will shot his skits. You understand? So I'm coming from an angle nobody was expecting. I had the release party. The first release party was at Vanity in VI. Probably people, you should have heard the noise and the shock of people's faces when I brought Iyabo Ojo on stage to rap.
I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, what?
People didn't understand what was going on until she started busting, and then brother, the next morning, afternoon, it was everywhere online. And there's a whole lot now. Instead of not even turning it into a cover, my brother, all these people I just mentioned, if I add all their followers together, I get like 20 million followers.
Yeah.
So now the businessman in me, didn't know, boy, market must move. The day we're recording Momiwa, is Mr. Macaroni's skit wife. The day she was recording her own verse, she now told me that if I post this on my TikTok, a lot of people will use it to do their own videos.
Yeah.
Now imagine how she has I think she has like 4 million followers on TikTok. You understand? So now, and I imagine myself, let's say 2 million people now use it and I didn't monetize it. Do you know how painful that would be?
Yeah.
So now, instead of just leaving it that's why I've put a hold on it for now. Not put a hold, they're mixing and mastering as we speak. So right now, instead of dropping it as what's it called?
Like
covers,
a viral song.
Yeah, instead of dropping like a viral thing, my brother, it's now a song. It's now the OG celebrity remix.
Rugged.
It's the OG celebrity remix, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 has Mr. Macaroni, Momiwa, and Shege Awolowo of BB Niger. Part 2 has Iyabo Ojo, Jide Kene, Kevin Ikeduba, and Frank Edoho.
Wow.
So now it'll come out like in the next 2-3 weeks on all platforms, my brother. Now imagine all their followers going to stream.
Rugged, see everything you just said now. You are the concept. You are the idea. You are the business idea. Like before we get to your part that we had to put you on, I was telling Jablet, I'm like, you see Rugged, he's the most creative hip hop person that I know.
Yeah.
That I always look at. So all these things that you're saying now, it's not surprising to me because I already knew. Because I was telling him, I was telling Jablet that, see, I know that Rugged has an angle that people don't know. So I always say it. I said it. I'm like, to all the Gen Zs, if you don't study nobody,
he said you need to study 2 people in this.
Number
industry.
1 is Ruggedman. Number 2 is Lord of Ajasa. If you don't want to listen to any other hip hop person in Nigeria, listen to those people. Study those 2 people.
You will understand what it means.
And for Lord of Ajasa is my sentiment. Number 1 is you because I see it. We know, Baba.
But Rugged, there's something I want to ask, which for this session, and it is the level at which Afrobeats.
Which one? He stopped for a second. Which one?
Yeah, I said which might be the last question for tonight.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so I had a lot of Fajasa a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him the same question. I said, during those days, 2004, 2005, 2006, 3, 2, did you see Afrobeats to be what it is today? Did you see this picture?
I will answer the question for Ruggedman.
No.
Ruggedman said it's in all the songs.
No. I want to wait.
Okay.
You know, did you see what Afrobeat? When I say what Afrobeat is today, I'm talking of the ticket sales, the attention, you know, that we get all around the world. The Bonner selling out anything, the Wiz selling out anything, the David selling out. Did you see that picture back in 2004 or 2002?
I might not have seen the O2 selling out, but I saw the part that we need to sell our culture. We need to sell our language. Because that's what they don't have out there. That's what will trip them out there. Remember in Ruggedy Baba, when I did Ruggedy Baba, I said, show where you belong, speak more in your mother tongue. Towards the end, you know, I did Niger Hip Hop 101.
Yeah.
Part 1 as the intro. Then Niger Hip Hop 101, part 2. I said, you can't sell snow to Eskimos. You can't sell sand to desert dwellers. Do you? You understand? Do you? See, because let me give you a quick story. But I know you don't have too much time. But
no,
we were in Unilag in I think it was 1994, brother Ali. 1994. We're in Unilag. I wasn't in Lag then, though. I was in secondary school, but I was always lying. I had a friend in Unilag. Bio. So, but then I was in secondary school. I was in like SS3, you know. But he always, you know, we were trying to do a rap group thing, and then he would drive into Unilag with me. So, of course, I didn't want to tell them I was in secondary school. So, any school, any university or school of technologies, I was on strike that time. That's the school I'm in. That was the story. Any school with you on strike. That's why I hear around. So, in 94, there was Mr. Macho Unilag in 94. You won't believe who the headline artist was then. Charlie Boy was the headlining artist. The MC was Ali Baba. These are all the things I want to tell, stories I want to tell in my documentary, but let me give you this one. So, Swave called me that there were 2 guys in Unilag who were billed to perform that night, but at the show, but they didn't want to go alone. So Swave now said, okay, he has another guy that raps, that's me. So we should go, so we'll be 4 to perform. I said, well, and for me, if you had called me if Sambisa was raining then, and you say we need to rap this, I would go. Because I was all for the rap, for the, you know, entertainment, not money or anything. So Bayo now said, okay, let's go meet the guys in, I think it was it? This one male hall. Is it Fagunwa? I think it was Fagunwa. So we walked into the hall, I think 2nd, 3rd floor. So as we're walking, somebody just said, I want to give you another angle to this story now. You know, somebody else said, that there are 2 artists in that room. You know? So as we're passing, and I said, okay, let's just look at them and let's just say hi. So they opened the door and the guys just turned. It was Lexi Do and Jasmine Olofin.
Wow.
It was Lexi and Jasmine. Then they were still X-Appeal. They were still X-Appeal. That was when they did the song with Plantation Boys and all. So I just looked and I'm like, hey, that was first time I was meeting both of them. I just said, hey, I just greeted them and we left and moved to the other room. Just there with those guys. We agreed here, 4 of us. The night of the show, we got there. Brother, leather waistcoat, baggy jeans, and one standard I bought from my friend Tony. I'm not finished paying for that standard today.
Wow.
So, the night of the show, we were at the backstage. Paul Play, Slam, they were a group there. Paul Play, Slam, Tony Tonero, and one other person. God rest him, Tonero. So they were there to perform. Tonero's been late for years. Tony Tonero is late. Yes. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
Let's
I
say
know.
that
I know
Coldplay
Coldplay.
song.
I know Slam.
yeah,
Wow, I
Yeah, I
didn't
know
even know
Slam.
that. Wow.
yeah. Tunero
I,
was one that did that part in Moshuri.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got backstage, saw Ali Baba. I was looking, Charlie Boy was sitting there with his wife. I was just using side eye to look. Oh, and get superstar. You know? So they somebody performed, then Slam and Pop played them, went to perform. They were singing English. On and on, off and on, the song.
Mhm.
Off and on, off and on. When they finished and came out, Ali Baba now took the mic and said, which why are they doing free advert? Just shouting Cafe no, you song. You know, comedian. Oja Atasi went back home. Then it was now our turn. Four of us. We were so busy thinking about performance. Ali Baba just, it was main auditorium, Unilag. Ali Baba just put his head around the curtain and like, okay, well, so what's your group name? That's when we realized we didn't give ourselves name.
Ah, damn.
We were young. So we didn't, so as we're looking at each other, Ali Baba just hissed. He just went outside. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the crew. He just called out the crew. No problem. Oh yeah, who's going out first now? Now so everybody begin to look at each other. My friend Bayo now went by cutting to look outside. I just pushed him out. As I called Jaja, so the stage and he was on to rap first. So he started rapping. And we just did our thing. You know, we all rapped in English, spitting metaphors, blah, blah, blah. You know, I could have sworn there was one guy in front that was reading newspaper like this.
Wow. Looking at you guys like, what are
You
you
know,
guys saying?
some were feeling it, but some were just there. But where I'm driving to with this story is, I've forgotten the Fuji artists that performed that night after us. But what I learned that night was, this is Unilag, a school filled with about to be graduates, doctors, lawyers, architects. To me, these were posh, genge people. But brother, when that Fuji artist, see the way the girls that I was eyeing, thinking Ajebota, the way they pull skirts up, scatter body, everywhere scatter. But you know one thing I took from that, that I asked myself, what is this guy doing that we didn't do? That's what I asked myself that day. What is this guy doing that I did? I couldn't, not that I couldn't sleep, but that kept ringing in my head. Till I met Paul Play some time later, and I told him the same thing. And I told him, and Paul Play said, it's the language. It's the language. This guy, the guy that came with the Yoruba thing, the big Fuji, get everywhere. And I'm like, and that was about the time.
Yeah.
And that was about the time I was writing So, and I thought I'd written a verse and a half in English, my brother. I went back and I just turned everything to pidgin. I started turning everything to pidgin, adding Yoruba here, pidgin, and then I thought to myself, we know we love to laugh. We love to laugh. So I'm like, okay, the hook for this song, I want it to be something comical. And I remembered I met, God rest his soul, I met Nomalus at Lord's Club some time back. And then he was on that show, Groovoids, back then on MBI. That he was always speaking with a northern accent. You understand? So I went to OJB's studio then. I met Nomalus and I pulled him aside. I said, dude, there's a track I'm recording that I'm calling out some people in the industry, but I want a hook, and I want the hook to go like this, but with a northern, that your northern thing you do. I practically almost made him sign an undertaking because, yes, I said, because it's going to cost wahala. It's going to cost a lot of trouble, obviously. Are you down or not? He said, man, fuck anybody. Yeah, he's down. What's the hook? I told him, what came to my mind is, why you do the rap like? But I want him to do it in that northern accent. That's how the, why you do the rap like? You understand?
Wow.
That's how was born. Then the last thing I want to say is, when I talk, if you remember in Ruggedman, there's a part I said, and Paul Play had a hand in letting me know what it would take for me to rearrange and eventually blow.
That's the story you just said.
Yep.
Wow.
So most of, when I tell people that Ruggedman album, I put my blood in Ruggedman album. Every track in there was for a reason. down to flesh to death about AIDS awareness, to broken promise that I talked about my cousin who died in America. It was real.
Wow.
You understand? So there was no play in there. So basically, that's me now trying to tell you, yes, I saw what it will take for Nigerian music to go bigger than it is. And it wasn't us trying to sound American. It was us being us.
Yes.
And from when I dropped Ruggedman Baba in 2006, brotherly till date, every Niger song that's been a hit has been a song with either Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yes, I saw it. I just didn't know how big it was going to get.
It was going to get, or you saw the big picture. Ajasa said he saw it too, and he said he was actually confrontational about it. He said it was really confrontational. He said there was an event he went to, and they were trying to sideline him, and he told them, those key players, he told them, this industry will be bigger than you, and you won't be able to do anything about it.
It wasn't even only his time. Remember when Nice dropped Gongaso? Some radio stations refused to play it.
Yeah.
Some radio stations refused to play, but when he blew, they now started playing it. You understand? So, and you see, and that's the thing. If you know if you're about something and you stand on that thing, as long as you feel it and it's real, don't let anybody shake you off it, because when the time will come, it will come. I remember so many people telling me then, you sound American. That was when we just started. You sound American. When I did What If in all English, you sound American. I even said it to Ruggedman Baba. When I did What If and I didn't pick any money, I didn't have enough money to buy one good shoe or some good clothes. You know? Anyway, you know, they're telling me, well, you need to go to America. You need to go to America. You know what I told them? I said, I'd rather be in Nigeria. I want to become a king in Nigeria, because one day kings from everywhere will meet, will gather.
Will dine with
they
you.
will gather, and I will be the king there from my own end, representing my own end. And that was what happened. If you check, almost every Nigerian artist that left Nigeria to do music, they came back and they came to blow in Nigeria.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, there's
except the ones like Dr. Alban and Co.
There's even a story about the band. When the band came, he said when he came, Ruggedman was the guy. Ruggedman was when he came back.
Yeah, of course. I took him to some shows. Brother, see, the thing about me, why I want to do my documentary, if you put me in the middle, I'm kind of linked to almost every big artist you can know.
Yeah.
You understand? So we thank the Lord.
But Ruggedman.
The last one.
Last question.
Yeah, we are going to go back to that initial story of you being the landlord and.
No, I'm not gonna say.
No, we're not
I'll be that thing that will make the internet shake.
No. So what I want to ask is,
be very careful.
Yeah, Baba, a lot of people are worried, you know.
A lot of people are not worried.
Get out. We are worried. What happened? Why are you not married yet? What's going on?
Okay.